We're back again with Coach Tim Vakakes of Spain Park Football for the Coach V Show, brought to you each week by Andrew Sports Medicine. Andrew Sports Medicine is a proud supporter of all of Spain Park Athletics. How are you doing today, Coach?
Doing good. How are you?
So let's just jump right at it. So 3 keys of the game last week. Start fast. Fast enough for you?
It was. I mean, anytime Reggie Jackson gets the ball, good things happen. So it was good to get it started like that.
I think one thing that people miss about him, not only just is he a talented player, but he's got that body size too, and that is such an advantage out there. Talk just a little bit about that real quick.
It is. It was good to get him back. I mean, he's a big, strong kid. He's one of the fastest kids we have, and he's tough. He loves blocking. He loves being physical, and he loves this game. And it was good to have him back.
Just he's all about this team, isn't he?
He is, and he's glad to be back. I mean, I know the Hoover game when he got hurt after that first drive. He was trying to get back in that game, but the concussions, you can't do anything about that. But
so then protect football. I believe you were +4 turnover margin, +3, +4.
Correct, 4.
+4 in turnover margin. So you can't really ask for more than that, right?
Right.
And then tackle was the third key to the victory. And again, he ripped off a couple of runs, but I don't think he got anything +20 on you. And if he did, it might have been 1. But you guys definitely either slowed him up, and everybody was pursuing the ball. So talk real quick, just a little bit about the defense, and because again, there were some times they bent, but they didn't break. They got some talk just about the performance of the defense of this game.
Yeah, like I told the kids on Sunday, and coaches, Coach Bush and the staff did a great job of keeping the kids in front of us. Because the tailback, number 6, he's one of the best in the country. He's going to Miami. Number 28, he's a really good player. And to keep those guys in front of us, like you said, we talked about it all weekend about how we bent. We gave up some yardage here and there, but there was nothing consistent. And, we held them to field goals when they did get down there. So creating turnovers and keeping people out of the end zone are a recipe for success, and they did that.
Seems like you're getting a lot of pressure from your outside players, your linebackers and your cornerbacks on defense.
I think so, and we missed a lot of tackles. That was one thing that we talked about on Sunday is, we had chances to tackle for negative gains, a yard loss, 2-yard loss, 0-yard gain. But we'd miss the tackle, we wouldn't wrap up and run our feet, and they'd scamper off for 10 or 12 more yards. Mm-hmm. So we did have tackle for losses. But in these type games, you gotta take advantage of every chance you get and not slip up and let them get by. But our defense did a good job. Our D-line, they played really hard. We didn't always play well, but they played really hard.
They came out walking a little taller in the second half, almost like they braided the side releases. You talked last week, we need some good things to happen. Some good things happened in that first half. Did you see a little bit of confidence come back from the first half to the second half?
There's no doubt. I mean, we've told these kids, just keep swinging, and they have been, and we finally, it's just a vibe you get when everybody's there, and the kids feel confident, and it was good for us as coaches, and I'm sure as a community. What these kids went through the month of September was tough, and it was good to see them go out there and have fun.
And I'm sure having both the Shanks brothers back and a little bit more healthy, stable at running back opens up that passing lanes for you just a little bit more.
It does, and our O-line has continued to get better. They have done such a good job all year. They've been consistent.
But talk a little about Coach Taylor and what he's done with special teams. It's a special teams with a little bit of struggle, but that's really kind of come back around.
Yeah, Darius Taylor does such a good job with our special teams. We've had some hiccups early, but they've been corrected. Fake a punt against Vestavia. They tried to, surprise onside kick us the other night, and our kid on the front row, Logan Brownlee, he recovered it. We start the game with the 95-yard kickoff return. So there's a lot of little things that our special teams are doing really well, and a lot of that credit goes to Coach Taylor. He does a great job with keeping those kids where special teams is important, and they got a lot of pride in it.
Well, speaking of winning, you bring in Chelsea. They're definitely a formidable opponent, averaging 24 points per game on offense, but that's why I kind of mentioned special teams earlier. They've had some success on the other side of the ball with special teams, some block kicks, some scoop and scores. So talk about what challenges you see there as you face Chelsea.
Well, Coach Cassidy's a friend of mine. We've known him a long time, played against him. We were at Fairfield, and he was at Pleasant Grove. He does a good job. He does a really good job with those kids. They play very hard. They kind of like us, they got hit with the injury bug, and they've been trying to plug holes as they've gone along, and they've done a good job with it. So it's a rival game. It's right down the road. Our kids know theirs. Their kids know ours. So we're going to have to play. We're going to have to make plays and go out there and swing like a heavyweight and keep swinging because they're going to come after us.
Yeah, they definitely got some players. They're led by senior running back Emerson Russell, who's definitely been over the 100-yard mark several times this season. Carter Dotson, who's a junior quarterback, 6'2", 180 though, and he is big and he looks poised in the pocket. So this looks like definitely a very well-run, very comfortable offense. So
yeah, the quarterback's good. He's a really good athlete. The number one, the kid you were talking about, the Russell kid, he's one of the best players in this region. I mean, he's little, but he is lightning quick. He is very strong, very tough. He's tough to get down. He's tough to tackle in the open field. So he is a very good player. So we're going to have to make sure we get as many defenders around him as possible because he's going to make one guy miss.
Chase Wilson-Croft, two-time captain, had a monster first half. Talk just a little bit about his progression. And again, he's a guy that saw himself kind of slide into a role just through working hard over the last couple of years and has really made the most out of it.
Oh, there's no doubt. Chase is one of the hardest workers we have. He's a really consistent kid, consistent person, and it means a lot to him. So Coach Taylor's done a good job working that Sam position with him, and Coach Bush keeps him around the action. Saying, Chase is a very active kid. He can run, he can tackle, he's very physical. So we expect him to keep playing well because a lot of things we do are dictated by that Sam position. So he's going to have to keep playing well for us.
What are your Hoover Toyota keys to victory this week?
Start fast. I mean that has to be every week. We got to swing first and starting fast, protecting the ball, and I believe just be good teammates. I want to make sure that we continue to celebrate with each other. If someone makes a good play, if I make a good tackle or if I make a sack or whatever, the other guys in the D line had a lot to do with my success. So celebrate with each other. And sometimes we we like attention, but I think the best attention is when you enjoy it with each other. So we gotta do a better job of that, and that's little things like that I pay attention to that I think are important. But we just got to start fast and not get caught up in the homecoming deal, which our kids aren't. But have fun. It was just so good to see our kids have fun. They played with the lead. They were very calm. They were very cool and collected Friday. So we're gonna have to do that again.
Last thing I want to touch on, it comes across as a little bit of a personal accolade for you, but it's you were named yesterday or sometime this week to the AHSA North-South All-Star Game as a coach. But that goes more into, it's about you, but it's about this program as well, because you don't get that without all your assistant coaches and the players, and you're representing not only yourself and your family, which congratulations, but you're representing Spain Park. Just tell us a little bit about what that, being selected that means to you and to Spain Park.
Well, it's a big deal. Anytime you get to represent the community and the program and the kids and the coaches out there on a stage like that, it's always a blessing. And Coach Osment is the head coach of the North team, and he's at ARAB right now. And we've got some mutual friends, and I've known him through the years a little bit. But it's an honor to be called and asked to be a part of the staff, and I'm looking forward to it. I've coached in a couple of games like that, and every time it's just really good to get ourselves out there and represent each other. I tell these kids all the time, if I were to go out there and do something really dumb or do something bad, it'd look bad for these kids, because that's what will be in the news. Spain Park coach does whatever. It's not a good look for them. And if they were to go out there and do something, we all represent each other, and it's just a positive thing for our kids and our program. And Jonathan Bibbs, we're gonna. Hopefully this will be out by then, but Jonathan Bibbs has also been selected to play in the game.
That's awesome.
So he's one of the five receivers to play in that game, and it's a really good opportunity for him, and he's earned it. So, anytime we can get our kids out there, get our coaches out there, get our program out there, we're going to do it. And it's just a good thing for our school and our community.
Coach, we wish you the best of luck this homecoming, and I know you guys will be out supporting the girls at the Powder Puff game, and then we'll get the fans out supporting you Friday night, and good luck with the win Friday night, and go Jags.
Thank you. Go Jags.
We're here with Coach Darius Taylor. I believe they call him DT sometimes. He's a special teams coach and I believe linebackers. Is that correct, Coach?
Yep, Sam linebackers.
Sam linebackers. And he also has been a teacher at Spain Park for 8 years, teaching history, right?
Yes, sir.
What's harder, history or teaching these boys how to play? So we want to talk to you today, Coach, because, obviously you've done a great job with these boys, and, you sacrificed a lot of time. You have, what, 3 kids at all?
Yeah, 3 kids in the program. I have a junior and 2 sophomores.
2 sophomores. So you get to spend a little bit of time with them, but I'm sure you have to reintroduce yourself to your wife when you get home?
Oh, yeah. Me and the boys, we leave at around 6 o'clock most days and get back home around 6 o'clock. So we spend probably an hour a day in the car with each other, to and from.
So you spent a lot of time. Obviously, on special teams this year, and started off and they struggled just a little bit. We had some extra points blocked, and so talk a little bit of how you work through those challenges with them, because there's so many different. People don't realize how many moving parts there are on special teams. You got the line, you got the snap, you got the hold. There's so many different things you got to look at to see. So it's not just one thing.
Yeah, I mean it was kind of hard in the beginning. We had I think maybe 3 or 4 field goals, extra points blocked in the first game. Luckily they didn't come back to haunt us. Second game I think we had maybe a PAT blocked also, and we had a punt blocked towards the end of the game. We came back, worked on the little things. Found out a couple issues that we had to work through on the punt team. Field goal, we just had to speed up our operation time on field goal. Also, we need to get more lift on the ball with our kickers. So we just worked on those things for those weeks that the off week and the week the Vestavia week. We worked on those things, and I think the last few games we've been pretty good on those things.
I think a lot of parents don't realize, too, the countless hours you put into watching film and sitting here in the defensive room, because what I know one game, what looked like on the naked eye was a problem with a punt, turned out to be something that you guys picked on film, and it wasn't even what you thought it was in real time. So talk a little bit about how you can pick up some of those nuances in the film.
Oh, yeah, it's just watching things kind of over and over again. It can get boring, but just finding those little bitty things that teams do and you can take advantage of. We play against Hoover, and they found a small thing to block a field goal. And when you're winning, you really don't see those things. But when you lose a game because of it, you look at it and you try to and you fix it. And we were able to do that. But yeah, watching film just over and over again, and just trying to find advantages, things you can take advantage of from the other team. We do that with the kick return we did this past Friday. We thought we could take advantage of them in the middle, so we put in a middle return and we returned for a touchdown. So just trying to find different ways to take advantage of the opponent. Like we played against Vestavia, we saw a weakness on their punt safety, and we took advantage of it. So just the small things. They can show it once or twice, and it's like, oh man, there you go.
So you're happy on every successful play, but you get a little bit extra lift on that fake punt against Vestavia when you pull something like that off, because those are hard plays to pull off.
They are. And you have a kicker that's throwing the ball that we told him, we was like, hey man, don't hang the ball up there too much. You'll get the guy killed. And unfortunately, he did what we asked him not to do. But he's a punter, and he can't warm up on the sideline throwing the ball, because then we're about to fake it. So he went out there cold, but Matherson, he caught it and got us the first down, got us a little momentum.
That's why kickers use their feet, right?
Yes, exactly.
So talk a little bit too. You also coach the linebackers, and your linebackers seem to have been getting some more and more success. I almost feel like they're playing a little bit downhill right now, and I think some of that you got some defensive linemen that are got strong defensive line, but your linebackers really seem to be hitting their gaps well. So talk about the progression so far at this point in the season.
Yes, I coach Nichols, or Sam linebackers. He's a switch on me now. We were just out there talking about it a second ago as we broke it down after practice. They have to do a little bit of everything. They have to cover. They have to fill gaps. They have to play at the line of scrimmage. They have to do, like I said, they're Swiss Army knife. They have to do everything. So it's a unique position to coach. There's days I take the guys with the linebackers and we'll work run fits with them. Or I go with the DBs and we'll work some pass drops, we'll work some footwork, things like that. But a lot of times we do spend a lot of individual time with each other, because we have to, it's a unique position. Like I said, it's a cornerback / safety / linebacker.
Yeah, well, talk a little bit too though with Coach Bush. Coach Bush is the defense coordinator,
yes.
But you guys all seem to work independently of each other. It's like, he's coaching the D, but you're coaching. You've got some autonomy with your linebackers and what you call and the trust you guys have. Talk about the trust the defensive coaching staff has, because you guys all seem to be doing your own thing on the sidelines, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
We spend a lot of time in here meeting, so we're all on the same accord. It's easy when everybody gets along with each other, and we get here on Sundays. We work. We figure out a plan, and we work that plan with each other. And like, he trusts us. That's the biggest thing. I mean, he's a younger coordinator, and he put trust in me and Coach Kimball and Coach D-Rob, and we got a young guy, Coach CD. It's a lot of good knowledge in this room. So we work well together, and we trust each other.
Last question for you. How hard is it for you to separate from dad to coach and teacher with all your kids here in the program?
Yeah, it is hard. I mean, it's the weird thing about it. I teach my oldest son in the 11th grade, U.S. History 11th. I coach one of my twins. He's a Sam linebacker. So it can be tough. I have to stop myself sometimes. Hey, no, you're coach. You're not dad right now. You're coach. And for the most part, I try to leave everything here. When I get home, I'm dad, and that's the biggest thing. People probably think, yeah, you talk football, you watch film with your son. I'm dad when I'm at home. When I'm here, I'm coach. I'm at home. I'm dad.
Well, that's great. You know, I don't think a lot of people realize, you know, while you do have your 3 kids, and that's rewarding, you've got, you know, 100 other kids out there that you're dedicating the same amount of time to, and that's one thing that I think is remarkable about this coaching staff is every one of you guys treats every one of those kids out there like you're their own, but they're also like their players. So I appreciate you talking to us today, and wish you the best of luck Friday night homecoming week. Go Jags.
All right, thank you. Go Jags.